Hey coin collectors, and welcome to DC Coin World International Coin Channel. Today is the 1968 Roosevelt dime from the United States of America. The Roosevelt dime from the United States has been around since 1946, the year after President Franklin D. Roosevelt died. And so by 1968, they had gone through a couple transformations, and we'll talk through them with you. In 1968 was also the year that they came back with the mint marks. So let's talk about some of the stuff that came before these dimes, and then let's go into each of these dimes in detail. This is the first Roosevelt dime that came out in 1946. It's a 90% silver dime, 10% copper. It says Liberty in front of Roosevelt and God We Trust here, and then way down underneath here you see a J and an S for John Sinek, the engraver of this coin. In 1946 would be the date here. In 1946, if you had a mint mark, you'd put it right back here on the back. When they came out in 1946, they had three different mints that made them. The Philadelphia Mint with no mint mark, the Denver Mint would had a D back here, and the San Francisco Mint, which would have had an S back here. They made them at all three mints until 1955. In 1955, the last of the San Francisco Mint dimes came out. It's still a 90% silver, and we go on to the back and we'll see right there that S, in that S for the San Francisco Mint was the last S that was on a US dime until 1968, the year we're looking at today. In 1964, they made the last of the silver Roosevelt dimes, but of course by 1964 there's no S's on the back. They only had Philadelphia's and the Denver mints. In 1964, they decided that there were too many people collecting and hoarding coins, so they decided for 1965, no mint marks, 1966, no mint marks on any coins, in 1967, no mint mark. In 1968, they decided to start coming back with the mint marks. But when they decided to do that, they took the San Francisco mints and made all of the San Francisco coins proof coins. So before 1968, proof coins came from the Philadelphia Mint. So what would happen is you'd get a Philadelphia coin with no mint mark on it, but it would be really shiny like this. San Francisco didn't start doing the proof coins until 1968, though they had started with some special mint set coins for 1965, 1966, and 1967. And of course, Denver stayed in all the while. But you'll notice something really significant that happened in 1968, and that is they took the mint mark off from the back of the coin, which it had been until 1964, and they put it on the front of the coin. So there's our D for Denver, and there's our S for San Francisco. At the Philadelphia Mint in 1968, they made 424 million of these dimes. The best one they found so far is an MS67 Plus, and it's worth about $3,500 in a proof-like condition. You say, well, what about the full bands condition? Well, in 1968, it turns out that the full bands version of the Philadelphia coin, they found 10 MS67 full bands. Those are only worth about 500, but the proof-like version is worth 3,500, even though it doesn't have the full bands. In 1968 in Denver, they made 481 million. So almost a billion coins between the three mints. They found 11 so far at the Denver Mint that are Mint State 68 full bands, and so they go for about $800. And then, of course, many of you know about the San Francisco Mint coins from 1968. They had just reintroduced the dime at San Francisco. Even though they'd made some special mint set dimes, this was the first year for the dime for San Francisco since 1955. And when they did it, they made a few mistakes. Those mistakes have led to about 19 different varieties of the San Francisco Mint coin for 1968. First off, they made 3 million of the regular coins. The best one they found so far is a Proof 70, and that's worth a few $100s. And they have found a Deep Cameo 70, but we don't really have a price on that yet. They found 6 double die obverse, and most of the doubling is over here in the Liberty, and you can see we don't really have any on here. They found 3 repunched mint mark varieties, and this is pretty close to one. I don't think it is one, but You can see that it was a messy punch on this S. It almost doesn't look like an S. And then they found 6 double die reverse varieties of this coin, I think mostly down here in the E pluribus. So just for the San Francisco coin alone, they found 15, just for the regular proof alone, they found 15 different varieties. However, they found one really special variety, and that is they minted some of these coins and forgot to put the S on them. If you have a San Francisco Mint coin with no S on it, it could be worth anywhere from $40,000 to $65,000 in best condition, and it could certainly be worth $3,000 to $5,000 or more in any condition you find it. So because they're proof coins, most of them were saved out. You shouldn't see a US dime with an S on it from 1968 in general circulation because they were specially minted and they usually came in special sets. If you get this in a proof 68 decam with no mint mark on it, one has been sold for $47,000. If you get this just in a cameo, there's been a proof 69 found. It sold for $65,000. And if you get this in a regular without, like, kind of looking like this without any cameo on it at all, you could still get $50,000 if you get it up to a proof 69. So these are very, very interesting coins. They're very expensive coins if you get good ones, and collectors, they really, really pay for them, maybe even over. All right, well, that's all our 1968 dimes. The 1968 Philly, the 1968 Denver, and the 1968 San Francisco Mint. We'd love to have you subscribe to DC Coin World Coin Channel and leave any comments you have in the comments section.